Hi everyone, just a quick video tutorial today. Well, it's not a tutorial, it's a little tip I suppose, based on this little Easter card that I made for this week's Festive Friday challenges. So the little card itself is one of those fun interlocking front cards that open. You can see my lovely decoration on the inside. Whoops, I might have to get onto that, guys. But really that's not what the video is about. The video is about this little egg on the top. Now I will zoom in a little bit so that you can see what I'm talking about. I often find when I want to do embossing that sometimes choosing a colour to emboss in is one of my hardest decisions to make. We've got loads and loads and loads of lovely embossing colours, and when I was doing this Easter card in particular, I knew that I didn't want to go with black because it was too harsh. I knew that I obviously couldn't do white because it's on white cardstock. I didn't want silver because it would have been too shiny, or gold or anything like that. And I do have all of the lovely colours from the Stampin' Up. So there's Melon Mambo, there's Cherry Cobbler, Tangerine Tango, etc, etc. So when I wanted to choose the colours for my card, I thought, well, I could do it pink, I could do it blue, or I could do it in the green, because I have all three colours. But I decided that I didn't just want a pink egg, I wanted a colourful egg. So I decided that why not use all three embossing powders on this little egg, and then I can colour it in accordingly. So I just want to show you how I did that and not make too much of a mess. All right, so oops, out would be good. Okay, so all I did, I've got a piece of cardstock. All I really want is my balloon on this part of my this scrap of cardstock, because it gets cut out and placed over the main image, which is done in chocolate chip. So embossing buddy is always important to give your cardstock a good finish so that you don't get loose bits of embossing powder where you don't want them. Versamark pad, which I'm not going to show you mine because it's disgustingly dirty, but works the same. Ink up your balloon, put it onto your scrap piece of Whisper white cardstock and push down. Okay, so you can't see that because it's in Versamark, but you might be able to see a slight bit of reflection there. But once I start adding the colours, hopefully you will see. Now, when I do the embossing on these sorts of things, I always start on one edge and work backwards across where I've already put the powder. So I'll show you what I mean. So for the top of it, I'm just going to use a little bit of wild wasabi embossing powder. Now I've just sprinkled that on the top sort of section of my balloon, and I'm dusting off, not back over where it's still inky, but I'm dusting off across where it's already been sort of stuck to the image. Now the next I'm going to use a little bit of Melon Mambo, and then I'm just going to try and sprinkle that in a band across the middle. And then what I do is it's okay to run the Melon Mambo back a little bit across where it's already been been stuck with the wild wasabi, because the wild wasabi is already stuck to that ink and it's not going to really re-stick any pink where you've already got the wild wasabi stuck. And then the last colour, making a bit of a mess on my bench, guys. You could use a powder pal to be a bit cleaner, but hey, it's all right. Mess is good. And the last colour, a little bit of tempting turquoise down the bottom. So pretty. And because I don't need to run it back up that way, I'll just take it straight back off the end of my project. Okay, so three little colours onto my balloon. Oh, I just totally love that. What I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to quickly go and heat emboss that to set it, and then I'll come back and show you the finished result. Okay guys, back, heated that. It's a bit boring to watch me heating that, but I'll quickly zoom in now, and you sort of can see it's all a little bit shimmery and shiny, but a really gorgeously lovely colourful Easter egg. Not boring, and I didn't have to make a choice in the end. And then basically all I did, guys, was use the blender pen and some ink pads and coloured in around the bits that were the exact colour of the embossing powder. So on these stripes here, I've got a little bit of pink down one end and a little bit of green up the other. I sort of just did some green and blended some pink up towards it. So you can see on this one, I've had a bit of green on one end, a bit of pink, and sort of just used, and the same with the blue and the pink. But gorgeously lovely coloured Easter eggs. So I hope you give that mixed embossing powder technique a try on all sorts of other things, and I'd love to see what you come up with. Okay, bye.